Friends, welcome to the second session of 5G fundamentals. So before going forward, we will have a quick recap of what we have learned in the last session. You can go back and watch this last session, the first chapter of this 5G fundamentals if you want. So let's get through the recap. So in the first video we have learned what is the differences between LTE and 5G NR related to the latency, data rates, releases, subcarrier spacing. So these are the few. Apart from that, we have learned the few terminologies related to 5G architecture, the different function of blocks in architecture. I have introduced one more diagram just to introduce the XN interface here between the two G node Bs. So there are different architectures present on internet. You can go and have a look, but the ultimate working of each of the blocks and the interconnectivity between blocks uh, are same. It's just the kind of architecture, the kind of design that is having the difference. So here let's have a quick recap on functions of different blocks, the major blocks. So here G node B is taking care of radio resource management, intercell radio resource management, resource block control, ROHC and security, connection and mobility control, measurement control, scheduling, which AMF to be used, radio session management, connection setup and release. So G node B is having few work to do. So those are listed here. You can have a look. Apart from that, AMF is having NAS signaling termination, NAS security, access stratum security control, and idle state mobility handling is also taken care by your AMF. SMF selection is done also by AMF. So now about SMF. SMF is your session management function. So session management is done here. Apart from that, UE IP allocation and QoS policy enforcement is done by SMF. The fourth important block in this architecture is called UPF. UPF is responsible for your PDU handling, mobility anchoring, QoS handling of packets, idle state mobility handling are also taken care here, DL packet buffering and notification. So these are the few important function of 4 important blocks in this 5G architecture. Rest we have already discussed in the last lecture, last session. So let's go forward towards our we have already read about the channels basics. So let's go towards the protocol stack and what are the functions of each layer in this protocol stack. So going forward, we are going to learn in two phases. One is user plane and one is control plane. The complete protocol stack is divided in two understandings, one from user plane perspective and other from control plane perspective. So here it is. For the RF guy, we have to just look towards the UE and G node B. So between UE and G node B, we are having one additional protocol, that is service data adaptation protocol, SDAP, which is newly introduced in 5G. So you need to remember SDAP, service data adaptation protocol. This is the new protocol, and rest all the things are almost the same. And apart from this, G node B to UPF, there is GTPU protocol. UPF to UPF, there is also GTPU protocol. So you can have a look on this. GTPU protocol is GPRS tunneling protocol user plane. This is between G node B to G node B also. That's why I am discussing this GTPU protocol. So when we go into the further depths of protocol, then we can have a discussion on the GTPU protocol also. Let's have a look on the control plane protocol stack. So in control plane, we are having just like 4G protocol stack like NAS and RRC in L3, PDCP, RLC and MAC in L2 and physical in L1 layers. So we are having this kind of architecture here. You can have a look on this architecture. So let's get towards the function of each protocol stack layer. So what are the main functions of RRC, the layer 3? So RRC is responsible for your system information related to AS, access stratum and NAS. It is also responsible for paging. It is responsible for establishment of RRC connection, addition, modification of RRC and dual connectivity. So these things related to RRC layer is responsible. Security key management is also taken care by RRC. Establishment, configuration of DRBs and SRBs are also taken care by RRC. Inter-RAT mobility and mobility functions, selection, reselection, all of these functions, these are control plane functions and these are taken care by your RRC mainly. The new layer which is introduced, the second layer, which is that is service data adaptation protocol, SDAP layer. So the main function which comes, the main concept introduced in SDAP is your QFI, QoS flow ID. This is the main concept. You need to study about this in detail because this is the base of this protocol, SDAP protocol. So every QoS flow is marked with a QoS flow ID. Mapping between a QoS flow and data radio bearer is done at SDAP layer. Okay, and a single protocol entity of SDAP is configured for each individual PDU sessions. One SDAP is configured for one PDU session, each PDU session, except where two entities can be configured. So just to understand concept of QFI, that is QoS flow ID is introduced here. So we need to understand the concept of QFI that we will be discussing further to understand this SDAP layer in whole. So let's get toward the next layer of protocol stack, that is PDCP. PDCP layer is a layer 2 of your protocol stack, PDCP, RLC and MAC. So these all three layers are listed here. You can have a screenshot. There are too many functions of each of these layers. Few are listed and few are which were not considered as important are omitted. Okay, so PDCP layer is doing mainly ciphering, deciphering and header compression. Sequence numbering is also done. Transfer of control plane data is also done. So for understanding and having a quick information, you can say that ROHC is done here, header compression, and ciphering, deciphering, reordering of and duplicate detection is done in PDCP layer. Next is RLC layer. RLC layer is error correction is done at RRC layer, and reassembly and segmentation is done at RLC layer. So the two main functions, error correction, reassembly and resegmentation. Other other functions are listed here. You can have a look. And the main function of MAC layer is responsible for your HARC processes. HARC processes means error correction through HARC and priority handling between UEs by the means of dynamic scheduling, and priority handling between logical channels also. So the main functions are priority handling, error correction through HARC for MAC. So just to remember, I am having a small short description here. So what are the layers doing? So you can have this picture in your mobile, and you can just see what these layers are doing. So SDAP, like I mentioned, it is responsible for QoS flow handling, that is done by QFI, the new concept introduced. So you just have to remember QoS flow handling is taken care by SDAP along with some few other things. ROHC and security is taken care by PDCP layer. Okay. Segmentation and ARQ is done at RLC layer. What is ARQ? Automatic repeat request. Suppose you send a packet. The layers are sending packets to each other. Suppose they send a packet, and once packet is lost, or there is no acknowledgement, NAC acknowledgement. So what to be done during those cases when there is no acknowledgement, or when there is a NAC, or when there is a ACK? So whatever functions is to be done is taken care by your RLC, along with what are the thresholds, how many times the packets can be sent. So all these things are taken care by ARQ and RLC layer. Now about MAC layer, the lowest layer in this picture. So MAC layer is responsible for your multiplexing and demultiplexing, and HARC and priority handling. So HARC is for your error correction and reordering, and scheduling, priority handling is done by MAC. So most of these things are also present in your LTE. Scheduling, priority handling was also earlier done in MAC layer. In LTE also, HARC was also present in LTE. ARQ was present in your RLC in LTE. Security was taken care here also. So most of the things are common apart from your SDAP layer, which is introduced with QoS flow handling. So just keep this picture in your mind, so you'll have a basic understanding of what the protocol stack is doing here. So I think that enough for today's session. We'll be having a further detailed session. Please like and subscribe my channel for further videos. Thank you.